boss.
I take it your neighbor's new recruit? That you're new, but capable. Other than that, not a whole lot. Neva talks a lot, but that's not the same as talking too much. You're still a mystery to me. SY 920 is one of my regular stops, so I already have the necessary approvals. Neva says you're after a piece of UC tech. So to get it, we're going to need to get you on board. I can do that, but I have conditions. Good. If I can be candid, for this job to work, we'll have to do this my way. We take my ship, and you're a member of my crew. But make no mistake, once you board, the risk is entirely yours. This route is highly lucrative, and sacrificing it is not an option. Look, I know I don't have a lot of history with the fleet, but I'm putting my reputation and ship on the line for this. That alone should tell you enough. It's not personal. If you're caught, that entire installation will be on you. There's nothing I can do for you at that point, except send flowers to your next of kin. Good, then we have a deal. In any case, when you're ready, meet me at my ship. It's the Jade Swan. And make sure you're prepared for the long haul. Once you're on board SY 920, you can't come and go as you please. I'd like to, but I need to keep a low profile. In my experience, the more people know about you, the more they have over you. Exactly. You make yourself vulnerable. You become prey. Emotionally, physically, doesn't matter. Delgado may think otherwise, but I found in this business, fortune favors the cautious, not the bold. Anyways, I appreciate the small talk. Delgado's crew aren't usually so chatty. But let's keep our focus on the mission. We can swap bar stories and share scars when we've got enough creds to buy the bar and fix the scars. Enough to be on a first-name basis with the Marines working the comms. It also helps they want us to dock. A cargo ship means supplies, special requests, slates from home. In the void of space, a cargo hauler is a soldier's best friend. Only what I've been told. Get you on the SY 920, get you out if I can. That being said, I can be a better guide if I know what it is we're after. So, it's up to you. Interesting. When we get to the station, I'll see if I can pull any information on its whereabouts. Hopefully that'll make for a smoother trip. Less than you. And even if I did, I'm a smuggler, not a scientist. But if Delgado's after it, then I have a feeling there's a pile of credits waiting at the end of this chain. So we better do it right. We'll talk more on the ship.
I used to drink. Then, I met Jake. Now I don't.
Should I warm up the engines? Howdy.
Excuse me.
Yes?
All right, a few things to note. When we get to the checkpoint, UC military will be hailing us. Let me do the talking. Pretend you're a piece of cargo if you have to. That will serve you well here. Some people mistake silence for weakness or, at worst, compliance. But to me, it's the loud ones who leave themselves vulnerable.
Normally, I'd say vulnerability isn't necessarily a weakness, but I take it we aren't here to make friends.
Indeed, this isn't your typical pirate ship. We aren't singing shanties and toasting to Delgado's health. Now, like I said before, once we take off, there's no turning back until this job is done. If you need to take care of anything before we leave, do it. If you want to ask me any other questions, go for it. All right, then get comfortable. We leave for SY-920 immediately.
All crew prepare for takeoff.
We'll graph jump the SY-920 from here. Don't worry about your personal ship. The fleet will make sure it's secure. You can take this time to prepare. Just try not to bother my pilot while they're flying.
Always looking for the next
I've
moment.
spent half my life walking and chewing gum at the same time. I can handle a little practice.
Sounds like you're putting in a
Okay.
request for double
Hello.
duty.
Captain, I retract my earlier statement. For the record, I don't even like you.
Noted.
As long
Just
as
get
the
us
credits
there
keep
safe.
rolling in,
Roger
life's
that.
good.
Hey,
Yes?
Yes?
You've entered secure UC military space. Identify yourself or you will be considered hostile.
This is Captain Huan Daiyu, cargo class ship ID UC 7938. Requesting permission to dock.
Identity confirmed. Prepare your ship for scanning. You're cleared to dock at docking bay 2.
Looks like we're clear. We'll talk more once we're docked. Okay, we're in. First things first. The station is enormous, with checkpoints everywhere. To get past them, you'll need a military uniform. And to get a uniform, you'll need to get to the barracks. There should be a way through the vents. You can get to them via the maintenance store downstairs. There's an intercom there as well, where we can make contact. Once you get a uniform, it should be fairly easy to find an elevator to the command bay. But if at any point your cover's blown, I'm gone. Provided you haven't sounded the alarm, then yeah, like I said, if you can find an intercom, I'll keep a channel open. this is a star station, so there are plenty of ventilation ducts you can slither into. As far as tactics go, it's an oldie, but goodie. Only military personnel are allowed out of the cargo area. That's why we need to get you to the barracks to find you a uniform. I would hope not. But if they do, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Either way, for now, get on that station and find that intercom. We'll talk more then.
Hello.
I'll head to my crew position.
You with the Jade Swan? Loading and unloading only. Stay clear of the military barracks. Do your job, keep your head down, and we won't have trouble.
The upkeep on a station this size is enormous, but work has to be done.
This is Captain Huan Daiyu. And you found the intercom. That's a start. If I'm not mistaken, the maintenance door should be in front of you. If you can find a way to open it, it'll get you past the first checkpoint. Try eavesdropping on a few soldiers. Maybe one of them will mention a key. I'm not worried. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Anyway, the door will let you access the vents. Go up the vents and to the barracks. You should find a uniform there. The uniform should get you through the checkpoint and to the elevators. We'll talk again once you get to the command bay.
Marines on this station are some of the best.
Okay. Hello.
Still clear.
Pardon?
State your business. Logging ensign level clearance. Go on ahead. Your friend there have the same clearance?
Our commanding officer sent us both, so yes.
Then you're both good to go.
Non-deck.
This is Captain Huan Daiyu. Good. And no alarms or warnings on the comms. Music to my ears. If you found a uniform, be sure to put it on. They'll provide some cover. I've hacked into the database, and it seems information on the comm spike is in the archives. There's a checkpoint you'll have to pass, which requires a clearance code. I don't like deliberately drawing attention to yourself, but a disguise is never a bad idea. The uniform won't be enough though. You'll need to find a computer with the code. Try the security office. They likely have a computer there that has what you need. Going dark for now. We'll talk again once you've located the comm spike.
Not yet. Gotta get clearance at the security station and then head on over to the archives.
Well, you better hurry. You know what they say, Marine? 15 minutes early, you're still 10 minutes late. lost, Ensign? I don't recognize your face, Ensign. Are you new?
Stop right there, Ensign. All right, Ensign. Why aren't you at your post? Who's your commanding officer? Only authorized personnel are allowed here. Only senior officers report to the commander. Something doesn't seem right. Yeah, I hope so. I'm still willing to talk. Yeah, I hope so. Fine, I'll let you go, Ensign. But as soon as you're done with your task, you should return to your post. Need your clearance code, Marine. All right, Ensign, let's hear it. Sorry, Ensign, code doesn't match. Need your clearance code, Marine. All right, Ensign, let's hear it. Sorry, Ensign, code doesn't... Need your clearance code, Marine. All right, Ensign, let's... Sorry, Ensign, code... Need your clearance code, Marine. All right, Ensign, let's hear it. Sorry, Ensign, code... Need your clearance code, Marine. All right, Ensign, let's hear it. You're clear, Ensign Zaremi. I assume the two of you are together?
We're from the same unit, yes?
Then you're both clear.
Commander Natara, test flights for the latest prototypes are ready to go.
Acknowledged, Lieutenant. The tests for the comms by
Dr. Vogel has put in a request for more personnel. It seems there was an accident.
It's always something with that doctor.
Not to change the subject, but are we concerned about potential leaks?
No.
Just give the word and we'll get underway.
IU here. Goggles almost unloaded. We'll be departing shortly. You are, and I've delivered you just as the Gotto asked. That being said, I can stay in orbit for a short while. I'll need to send word to Delgado anyway, if you don't get off that station. But it looks like you'll need to find your own way off the ship. That doesn't mean you're trapped. On a station this big, there are bound to be other vessels you can steal. As a member of the Crimson Fleet, I trust you can handle that. You do that, and you won't be just burning this bridge. You'll be ejecting it straight into a supernova. Good luck. If you manage to get the comm spike and make it out alive, next time you're at the Nova, I'll buy you a drink.
Intercepting transponder data in the Alpha system might be promising. Wait, who are you? Why are you in here? Did you not see the sign? Don't you mean access to the ship? Because the comm spike isn't a device, it's a module. It's attached to a prototype in one of our docking ports. We're still in the testing phase, running decryptions across a variety of signal types, but the results so far have been very promising. It can even interpolate signal data lost in the retrieval. It really is a wondrous technology. Well, yes. In the same way the Almagest is a book on constellations and a supernova is an explosion in space. The greatest scientific minds the UC has to offer did not congregate to this station to build just a module. The brightest engineers in the settled systems did not get transferred to this station to build just a module.
In a top-secret facility, I'd expect nothing less than cutting-edge tech. The only question is, does it work?
Well, I can tell you right now, it does work. In theory, anyway. Yes, it's not quite cracking the Enigma code, but it will give us a significant tactical advantage. We'll be able to infer everything from battle plans to meal consumption. Not that we'd care about that sort of thing. Outside of the effects of diet on combat readiness. And yes, there are certain kinks to be worked out, missing parts and the occasional traumatic injury here and there, but it's all part of the adventure. Yes, it's not the destination, but the journey that matters, particularly when the destination is death. But don't worry. We've corrected the problem with the ship's life support systems, and statistical models show a failure rate of less than 2%. In short, I've requested a full squadron of these brave and fearless Marines to be transferred to the station. They'll give the prototype a final run, and provided there are minimal casualties, we can present our findings to MAST. Steal the comm spike? Why? Who is this person? damn space pirates. Say no more. I will contact Commander Natara immediately. Commander Natara, this is Dr. Vogel.
What is it now, Doctor?
We have an intruder on board. Captain Juan Dayu is not who she says.
Wait, Dayu? She was one of the captains on Messina's list.
Apparently, she's with the Crimson Fleet. And she's after my comm spike.
Don't worry, Doctor. We'll sound the alarm and have a strike team directed toward the cargo bay.
Good. I have a pilot here. I'll have them secure. The prototype, make sure it's safe. You are a pilot, aren't you? You've got the look at least. Take this key card. It'll give you access to Docking Bay 8. I need you to make sure my prototype is safe.
This is Commander Natara. Strike team units head to the cargo bay immediately. This is a red alert. I repeat, this is a red alert.
You aren't assigned to this level in
life. You should talk to Dr. Vogel.
I don't know. I've flown a Discovery class. I'm not.
Your ships are generally easy to fly.
I don't know you, Ensign. You sure you have clearance?
Excuse me? Of the cargo bay.
Yes. What?
Pleasant change of scenery.
On Commander Natara's orders, all ships continue pursuit of Captain Juan Dayu. Cargo class ship ID UC-793A. She's with the Crimson Fleet and should be considered extremely dangerous.
Nice jump. We're right on target.
Docking integrity, 100%. Good to go, Cap.
Something you might be interested in. Let me guess. You missed me and you couldn't stay away. I do? You must have read my mind. I'm still overwhelmed you chose to spend the rest of your life with me. I couldn't be happier. If it keeps us close, then I'll gladly say those words every time you ask.
Well, well, well. Welcome back, Rook. Looks like you got a new toy for me.
You looking to start something?
Surprised to see me, Rhett? Delgado may let it slide, but I don't take kindly to snitches. Yeah? Tell that to my bank account. You screwed me out of the most lucrative route I have. It's going to take me months to set up something even remotely as good. Not to mention getting the UC off of my trail. Don't put this on me. I got you in and gave you cover. You decided to return that favor by blowing mine. You may have fooled Delgado and Neva, but I don't trust you, Rook. At this point, you better find that legacy. Because to me, that's the only saving grace you've got.
Interesting. Exposed wires here, a little rust there. What a unique way to decorate.
The fleet protects our own. But you turn against us, and you're dead.
Samina can do more than patch you up. She's got a drug of every kind.
If you've got time to stand around, you've got time to do a job. Jasmine tells me that you not only brought us the Comspike, but an entire prototype UC ship. I'm impressed, Rook. Very impressed.
Don't worry your pretty little head about your damn ship. We had it brought back here safe and sound. Now pay attention. Dale went out of his way to tell you how impressed he was. You just gonna leave him hanging like that? Yeah, nice try, Rook. We know you didn't have a choice. Juan gave us the full rundown of your little smash and grab operation. She's actually pretty pissed, in case you didn't notice. Claims you blew her cover.
If Juan doesn't like how things have gone, and she wants to bail on her share, that's her problem. Now, on to the business at hand. Jasmine, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, boss. What's up?
How's it going?
I already have 2 of my crew tearing the ship apart from one end to the other. Comm spike shouldn't be too tough to extract. I'm looking forward to seeing what those UC techs have been up to.
Keep me posted. All right. That leaves our electromagnetic atmosphere problem. And I think we've discovered a solution. There's a corporation in the city of Neon called Generdyne. They're responsible for the massive conduction grid that powers the city. We get our hands on their electrical absorption tech, and Jasmine swears she can tame it to handle Bannock 4. It's the giant shroud that covers the entire city. Big, ugly thing that Generdyne uses to absorb lightning strikes. When you arrive in Neon, I'm sure your contact will fill you in with all the boring details.
You damn right she can. My girl can piece together a jump engine with her eyes shut. Literally, I've seen her do it. Lost good money on that bet.
All right, let's not get carried away, neighbor. Now, why don't you give us the info on our Neon contact?
You get to meet up with the lovely Estelle Vincent. She's had her deft little fingers on the pulse of Neon for some time now. Whatever info you need, I guarantee she can get.
Estelle is one of the most reliable captains we have in the fleet. If I want something done, there's none of the typical bullshit. It gets done, and afterward, we all split the cash. No. There is no getting along here. You are going to do everything she asks. Follow her instructions to the letter. She is valuable to the fleet. You piss her off and we lose her as a contact, you're going to be answering to me.
Understood. We'll do our best to remain on her good side.
Never mind her good side. You'd be better off appealing to her bank account. That is what drives her.
Estelle will be waiting at Madame Savage's place. I'd say don't keep her waiting, but chances are she won't mind. Girl loves her liquor.
And keep your eyes on the prize. Neon's one big distraction for people like us, so I want you focused. We are one step away from Crix's legacy, and we cannot afford any screw-ups.
Well, hello, sunshine.
Commander Ikonde is the heart and soul of UC's staff. I follow him.
It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. Betraying Juan Dayu for cover was a dangerous gambit, but it seems to have paid off. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process. Lieutenant Toft can explain.
We have operatives watching the Crimson Fleet's known contacts at all times. In this case, they observed you making contact with Juan. They continued to shadow your progress until you made your departure from New Atlantis on the Jade Swan. And, if I may, I'd like to echo the Commando's sentiment. I have some comrades on SY-920, and I appreciate the restraint you showed by sparing their lives.
As you've probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier. And on behalf of the United Colonies and Commander Natara, I thank you.
I assure you, we'd never harm anyone from the United Colonies without provocation, Commander.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the comm spike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report. That all depends on what you brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing, but at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the comm spike.
With the acquisition of the comm spike, the fleet is one step closer to Krix's legacy. And the more people we arrest, the greater the chance that your infiltration is discovered. We're working against the clock here, so let's start by discussing the status of the comm spike. Then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannock 4 problem? Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. Your ship will need special protection to ensure the electromagnetic disturbances in the planet's atmosphere don't fry your circuits. The conduction grid?
That's brilliant, but is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannock 4's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
That's the case. Inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake. The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the lock, touched off by Jasper Krix, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and Mast will authorize an all-out assault.
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk. I'll see what I can do. You've certainly gone above and beyond the call of duty. All right. I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you found. The commander appreciates the sacrifice you've made, going undercover. We'll be here if you need us.
We hunt piracy.
I mean, that's a given, right?
Keep moving. Scanners won't hurt you. Keep it moving.
Are you working toward that next technological leap? Then let Ryujin Industries help.
Aurora, it's a mood. You feel me?
You looking to get zoned? Yeah? Well, if I had a credit for every time I heard that line, I wouldn't be stuck working in this place. So, I'm guessing you're the rook that Delgado sent. Well, let me save both of us some time. Turn around, fly back to the key, and tell the big boss that I'm in no mood to screw around. We'll make this deal when he starts taking me seriously. Come on, give me a break. You're not exactly a top dog over there at the key, now are you? Sending me a rook to handle a job this risky is a goddamn insult. Specifics, huh? Okay, fine. I spent the last 3 months setting up this job, burned 2 contacts and a hell of a lot of credits. The whole time, I'm also keeping Bayou off our backs. That idiot even catches a whiff of money and he latches onto you like a damn leech. The few times I've dealt with Benjamin Bayou in the past have been rather unpleasant, to say the least. Benjamin Bayou, Neon's esteemed mayor, or administrator, or whatever the hell you want to call him. He's also the greediest bastard you'll ever meet. Got his fingers in everyone's business, and the muscle to back it up. The only reason I'm allowed to operate on Neon is because I pay well to keep my involvement off his radar. The last thing I need right now is an amateur like you getting me kicked off world. All right. I get the point. Let's just get this over with. I don't have a ton of time to stand here and screw around, so I'm gonna make this as clear as possible. You want the conduction grid tech, then you're gonna have to download it from the power core of Generdyne's facility in the underbelly. Some fancy name the brain-trusted Generdyne calls the room where all the power from the conduction grid is stored. Cute, right? Hey, don't look at me. I didn't build the damn thing. All I know is that the tech inside the place is valuable. I'm talking about Generdyne's main power plant for Neon. All their cushy offices might be up in the trade tower, but the nuts and bolts of their operation are running beneath the city. Love the confidence. But before you pull the ripcord, I'm afraid I need to add a bit of a wrinkle. While you're inside Generdyne, I need you to plant a virus into their system. It's a simple side job that'll earn you some credits. I think you can handle it. The elevator doesn't exactly go to the top floor in that head of yours, does it? Everything in the Crimson Fleet is accomplished through a decent helping of give and take. As in, I'm not going to give you the information to get your precious data unless you take this virus and upload it like I asked. Well, look at you. You're smarter than I thought. Generdyne has all sorts of tasty, valuable snacks in their databanks, and I want access. Here, take this microdrive and access the computer in Brayson Bayou's office. It'll do the rest on its own. Yep, nepotism has its advantages. Word on the street is that the Generdyne gig is the only one Benjamin could get for his younger brother. He's not the brightest. Let's just say that information can be just as lucrative as selling Aurora and keep it at that, okay? But don't worry, I promised Delgado that when it came to the conduction grid data, that's his territory. I won't touch it. It might be wireless, but you aren't going to be able to use it from here, genius. Generdyne's got their place locked down tight. But, as usual, the weak link comes from the people that work there. I recommend you start with Ayumi Komiko, an upper-level exec at Generdyne. Get your hands on her security pass, and you'll have the run of the place. You should be asking what won't you need it for. The facility is closed to the general public, and they keep all of their important files encrypted. Not to mention the fact that there's going to be all sorts of nasty security inside you're going to want to bypass. The catch is that Komiko's having a little fling with Benjamin Bayou. Anyway, you can find Komiko at Euphorica. Talk to the owner of the place, Micah. She'll point you in the right direction. As for dealing with Komiko herself, she's got an office in the trade tower if you're looking for something incriminating. The rest is up to you, Rook. When you're done, come meet me at the VIP booth in the Astral Lounge so we can celebrate. Pretty laid-back club over in Ebbside. Owner's name is Micah. She's young, but sharp as a razor, and has gang muscle to back her up. The little Aurora Lounge she has tucked away in the building is the real gold mine. Said she modeled it after opium dens on old Earth. Bayou takes a cut of the profits, of course. The rumor says it's way less than he usually takes. No one knows why. Businesswoman, tough as hull plating. She's the COO at Generdyne, and I can assure you she didn't get there with her winning smile. As for her relationships, well, that's a bit more complicated. Publicly, she's having a bit of a fling with Benjamin Bayou. But rumor has it that she's just using Bayou and having a little bit of fun on the side with Micah, the owner of Euphorica. If I were you, I wouldn't bother trying to appeal to her good nature. She's a manipulative person who uses people to get what she wants. Nepotism gets him the job at Generdyne as their chief technician, yet the guy doesn't know the first thing about electrical engineering. They obviously invented the position just to give them more on a salary. One of the many poorly kept secrets in Neon. Frankly, I think he's such a screw-up Benjamin Bayou stuck his ass in that facility under the city to keep him out of the limelight. Not much to tell, really. Thanks to their nifty little conduction grid, they're able to provide power for the entirety of Neon. Damn thing was supposed to be some kind of miracle invention, turning lightning into usable electricity. Neat trick, right? Only catch is that you need a planet like Voli, where lightning strikes often enough to make it feasible. Guess how many of those exist? Ding! If you said 0, you're absolutely correct. So Generdyne has been in dire financial straits for years. It's that hideous canopy over the center of the city that keeps the rich folks dry. Some folks around here call it the span. I think it's a massive eyesore, like some sort of a modern art piece gone haywire. You can't miss it. Just poke your head outside and look up. You're not the only one. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all that delicious profit? Not a single one. In fact, there are no legal alternatives for anything in this godforsaken city. The only thing people can do is deal with the bullshit and try to get on with their miserable lives. But let's get back to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all its delicious profit? Oh, sorry. That's a good one, Rook. No, it's not Generdyne's shareholders. It's good old Benny Bayou. That son of a bitch has a finger in every single pie in the sorry excuse for a city. Generdyne's no different. All off the books, of course. How the hell do you think Brayson Bayou got the job down there? It wasn't because of his good looks or smarts, I can promise you that. Just grab that tech and plant the virus. Should be a cinch.
For a cup of coffee.
You live in the rarefied air above the street right now.
Just one water.
Fire on their mark in the middle of a busy space.
Yeah, what? Is this important? I'm really busy right now. Let me save you some time. If you're here for a job, we're not hiring.
If you're here about the conduction grid tour, we shut it down a year ago. See that big yellow thing that's draped over almost the entire city? That's the grid, or what the locals call the span. Besides looking like some sort of madman's modern art piece, it's actually the main source of the city's power. Good. If you were, you'd be the 12th person I've turned away this year. What a waste. Look, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up at you, but I've got a ton of problems and no time to deal with them all. I'm afraid that things aren't going terribly well around here. Why? Because I'm sick and tired of putting on a corporate face and pretending that nothing's wrong. It's do or die time around here. We can either spin our wheels forever or worse, go under completely. I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. I'm happy to get this off my chest. The conduction grid went online almost 75 years ago. And since then, we haven't developed a single groundbreaking innovation. At this point, the money we're taking in as a power utility barely covers the waste that's going on in the research and development division. Unfortunately, no. I'm in third on the corporate ladder. One step above me is Ayumi Komiko. She's the COO of the company. And then there's Kaito Harada, our esteemed CEO who never seems to be around. No, of course not. We still produce smaller power systems and backup generators, but nothing even close to the magnitude of the conduction grid. Genodyne needs to come out with something spectacular to put us back on the map. If not, we'll remain stagnant forever, or worse. You'd think that, right? The problem is that Brayson Bayou, Administrator Bayou's brother, is currently heading up the R&D division. I swear to you, the man doesn't know the first thing about power systems or electromagnetic technology. I can give you 117 reasons. Our employees. If Genodyne goes completely under, how many of them will lose their jobs? How many might get cut in a restructure? My position puts me in charge of the welfare of our personnel. I can't in good conscience allow that to happen to them. Isn't it obvious? Administrator Bayou clearly leaned on Ms. Komiko to get his brother hired. It's nepotism in action. None whatsoever. Look, I'm running out of options. No one above me seems to care what's going on, but I'm willing to take a chance. I have a full report on Brayson that I want to send to Administrator Bayou, but I don't know if he can be trusted. What do you think I should do? It describes my aggravation with how badly Brayson Bayou is running the Research and Development Division. I'm also including a list of all the failed experiments he's greenlit, and how much they've cost Genodyne as proof of his incompetence. I'm praying someone as financially successful as Administrator Bayou might be able to put aside his ego and look at this from a business perspective. You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't allow Brayson to run this company into the ground. Hey, look, thanks for helping me out with this. It's been on my mind for a long time. If there's anything else you need, any questions at all, feel free to ask. That's an excellent question, and the answer for it is surprisingly simple. The conduction grid is only effective in lightning-rich environments. That's why WifI was chosen as its primary development site. Genodyne has always hoped to adapt the grid's absorption technology for other applications, but nothing public has ever been announced. The span above the city is outfitted with a specially developed electromagnetic absorption system. When a lightning discharge hits the span, the energy is instantly distributed across the grid to prevent overload. The energy is then transferred through a series of polyphasic capacitors and rectifiers to ensure all of the negative and positive strikes are equalized. At this point, the energy is clean, and it gets stored in massive storage cells in Neon's underbelly, from which it's parceled out and used for power. Genodyne was founded in 2232 by the original designer of the conduction grid, Felicia Corbin. Working from her facility in Neon, it took her almost 25 years to get the conduction grid up and running. That was Genodyne's first and last major success. As long as it doesn't get me into serious trouble, ask away. I've only been working here for a few years now, and she's been my boss the entire time. Well, the big boss is our CEO, Mr. Harada. But I've actually never met him. He lives somewhere in New Atlantis, I think. She's my boss. She's fine, I guess. Look, like I said, I don't want to get into serious trouble. She might be a bit tough on all of us, but being responsible for Neon's power grid is a very stressful position. Sometimes that stress trickles down. Whoa. Okay, that's crossing the line. I can't discuss company matters like this. I'd like to help you. I really would. Maybe. Need to think about it. You don't know what you're talking about. Look, I don't know why you're pushing me to talk about Miss Komiko's private affairs, but I don't think it's appropriate to ask me about this right now. We're done talking about... Sure, no problem. Hope to see you again soon.
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days, spreading like a virus through the set of systems. They like to set up shop in old facilities. Place is abandoned in the colony. That way, they can strike anywhere.
If you'll excuse me, I have a deadline to meet.
Are you gonna let me work, or are you gonna keep bothering me? Are you supposed to be here?
Can't talk. I've got a deadline coming up.
important I had to come to the office in the middle of the night.
It's the numbers, Ayumi. I don't like what I'm seeing.
If you'd stop interfering with my company, the numbers would be better.
Your company? That's funny. I thought it belonged to Mr. Harada.
Give me a break. We both know you set up that identity so we could both reap the profits off the books.
If Generdyne was showing a profit, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
How the hell am I supposed to make a profit when all I have is your brother, the idiot, as my chief technician?
I'd choose your next words very carefully, Miss Komiko. Raise the utility costs to your clients, cut some staff, I don't care how you do it. I want Generdyne's profits soaring by the end of the month. And if I ever hear you talking about Brayson like that again, well, I'm sure you can imagine the consequences.
If you're wondering what that smell is, it's...
Galbank ATMs are spread throughout the settled system.
Not interested.
Each of our baristas undergoes enhanced training.
Speak with me only if you have what it takes to do training.
You really going to walk on by? And miss out on the chance to experience Euphorica? We have...
Okay, let's settle this once and for all. Velocity or Chimera?
You kidding? Chimera, all day. Why do you think I'm here?
I don't know. Chimera is nice, but Velocity, that will get you hammered.
See, you just proved my point. Down your third velocity, and you're out cold. By the third Chimera, you're floating on frickin' Cloud 9. I don't know about you, but that's where I'd rather be.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Where the hell did Micah learn to mix a drink like that anyway?
Well, let's face it, some people are just gifted. You could.
Welcome. Please, make yourself comfortable. I can offer you a drink, or perhaps you're here seeking access to our members' lounge, where you can enjoy your Aurora experience in peace. Customers choose our lounge because they desire a more relaxed and sedate journey as they experience the joy of Aurora. We have no blaring music, no crowds, no chaos. The mood here is specifically crafted to allow a full range of mindful self-exploration. Sorry, no. Aurora sales are only permitted through the Astral Lounge. We simply provide a safe haven for you to enjoy it in peace. If you desire access to the lounge, you can purchase admittance for a completely reasonable fee. Otherwise, you're welcome to relax, listen to our music, and perhaps enjoy a chimera. Not only will you be able to experience one of the most exclusive Aurora lounges in Neon, you also have access to our private bar. The bartender down there is a personal friend of mine, and he sells some rather unique items. It's a specialty alcoholic beverage only served here at Euphorica. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. No problem. Let me know if you change your mind. If you need anything else, please, don't hesitate to ask. Of course, I recommend our house specialty, the Chimera. It's a unique triple-layer drink that I believe you'll find quite delightful. It consists of mild cold soju on the top, a thin layer of fruit liqueur in the middle, and a strong dark soju at the bottom. The initial mildness of Chimera slowly warms the senses, which rapidly transitions into a sudden burst of sweetness from the fruit liqueur. This sweetness braces the palate for the impact of the much stronger, robust finish. It's a drink of my own design. You people should leave her alone. What do you want with her? Not that it's any of your business, but we're very close. We're in love. I refuse to let anything bad happen to her, no matter how much trouble she's gotten herself into. Yeah, sure. Tell me another one. You debt collectors are low-life assholes. She's broke, okay? Now get out of my club before I get really pissed off and have you thrown into the street.
No, really. I'd like to see you try.
The Crimson Fleet? Oh my, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't mean anything by it, really. Sorry, well, I worry about her. Ayumi owes a lot of money around town. I'm trying to help her out, but, you know, I have a business to keep afloat. If you want to talk to her, you can find her in the members' lounge. Of course, access to the lounge is going to cost you, and I'm not changing my mind about that. Not only will you be able to... The bartender down there... Excellent. Then here is your access key. Please let us know if anything in the lounge interferes with your comfort. Don't forget to ask Q to see our special menu.
Gangs think they run this city, but I don't see people building statues.
Yes? What?
Yeah. What do you want? You must be zoned out of your mind, because there's no way anyone sober would say something like that. How the hell did you find that? It was Estelle Vincent, wasn't it? That bitch. I knew I should have kept that somewhere else. Here, take this pass. It should get you through the storage room entry to the facility. I'm warning you though, once you're inside, you're trespassing in a high-security zone. That means they shoot on sight. Good luck. You're going to need it. I suppose if I don't explain, a copy of that recording you found might end up on the next SSNN report. Okay, fair enough. A few years back, the previous CEO of Generdyne went missing. As the COO, I was next in line for the job. Instead, Bayu muscled his way into the company and gave me an ultimatum. Either back up his bullshit Mr. Harada identity, or I'm gone. I had no choice. But I decided right then and there, I was going to do whatever I could to take what was rightfully mine. If that meant seducing Bayu to tip him off balance, then so be it. Luckily for me, Mike has been incredibly understanding about the whole thing. What do you think happened? Bayu started sticking his nose into Generdyne's business, all but outright demanding a cut of the profits. In response, the CEO made a huge mistake by threatening to take his grievances to the FC. His shuttle never arrived. Need I say more? More than you can possibly imagine. Micah is the only person in this godforsaken city that's kept me from going completely under. She doesn't want money, doesn't use me for influence or as a stepping stone to get ahead. She loves me for being me, and I love her for being the same. And when this stupid bullshit is over, and Bayou is 10 fathoms deep under Neon, we'll be there for each other. Forever. If you had to work with Grayson Bayou, you'd understand. The man is still a totally incompetent fool, and he's running our company into the ground. The worst part of it is that he's Administrator Bayou's brother. So I can't fire him. I can't reassign him. I can't even yell at him. It's like having a cut on your body, and you're helplessly watching yourself bleed to death. Except in our case, we're hemorrhaging money. What is this? A job interview? I'm the COO of the company, second to the top, right under our esteemed CEO, Mr. Harada, also known as Benjamin Bayou. So when you ask me what I do for Generdyne, the answer is nothing. The Bayous run the show, and I tread water. The salary helps, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm just a joke. Sitting in an office to make things look legitimate. Keeps them off the Freestar Collective's radar. They might actually step in if they discover that the same person controlling the city's regulations and bylaws benefits financially from them. If you haven't figured it out by now, Benjamin has a stranglehold on the city. You can't take a piss without him charging you after flush. Try and get in his way, and then he uses Neon security to beat you senseless, or the Sioga Syndicate to make you disappear. Remember, we never talked. Got it?
You good? Down here. Oh, how can these workers stand the smell of rotten fish and goodness knows what else? Must be a lot of valuable tech disappearing from Generdyne to justify all the scrutiny of their own employees. Facility, but I suppose they need all of this infrastructure to convert the lightning to electricity. Of these conduits. They must be rated to carry an immense amount of power. Want anyone below hearing us rummaging through these ducts. Incredible. These enormous power cells must be the primary power storage for the entire city.
you've been here for a while. What do you think of Brayson? I was just talking to the guy a while ago. Oh, yeah? How so? He's pretty laid back. I think he gets a bum rap because of his big brother. I actually feel bad.
You. I was wondering how long it would take you to get down here. If you want the encryption cipher, you're welcome to it. I just don't want anyone getting hurt. When you access the computer in the power core, it sends a notification to be here. I knew you were coming, I just didn't know when.
My patience is wearing thin.
No catch. I'm not trying to trick you. You want the cipher? It's yours. At this point, I'd do anything to get back at my brother. He deserves everything he's got coming to him. You're kidding, right? My brother is Benjamin Bayou, the one and only. He's the administrator of Neon, and the reason I'm so damn miserable. I think you could safely say that most of Neon would agree. You know, I've spent my entire life living in Ben's shadow. Everything always works out for him, while I've been bouncing from one job to the next, barely keeping afloat. And all the while, he laughs at me behind my back. Thinks it's hilarious to make fun of his stupid brother. Like I wouldn't eventually find out.
Tyrants like your brother eventually fall. It's inevitable. Perhaps you should just give it some time.
One advantage to being perceived as stupid: when I walk into a party, I'm instantly the resident social pariah. But my eyes and ears are wide open. I can't tell you the number of times I've overheard that my brother has spread amusing anecdotes about his stupid brother. That wouldn't do any good. For every scheme he's gotten himself into, he has a bulletproof exit strategy. Man's virtually immortal.
That's true. He's a slippery man who can worm his way out of any legal situation.
You know what? I am sick to death of being pushed around. It's my turn to take control for once. The passcode for my terminal is GEN-41A18. That should give you access to the cipher and whatever else you need. I'm getting out of here while I still can. After you're done, I suggest you do the same. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, I'm at about, I don't know, a -8? I don't have the background for this electrical engineering stuff. Chief technician? It's ridiculous. Ben stuck me down here expecting me to work miracles. He didn't stop for even a second to think of the repercussions. That's So typical. All I need is one breakthrough. One. And I could shove this job right in his face. Damn, that would feel good. Of course. The storage tech that Dr. Corbin came up with. How could I miss that? Generdyne could make a fortune selling those to outposts for power collection purposes. It's perfect. Thank you for giving me that kick in the ass I needed to get going. Because he's a two-faced son of a bitch, that's why. It's not like I should be surprised. When we were younger, we never got along very well. I mean, he's 11 years older than I am. We had two different mothers. Might as well have been from two separate families. That's an understatement. I never knew my actual mother. She was my father's mistress. And I was told she vanished from Neon when I was only 2 years old. Ben's mother, she didn't give a crap about me. Wouldn't even let me call her Mom. I just had to call her Liliana. Can you imagine? And then there's Dad. So buried in the day-to-day operations of Neon, he didn't have time to pay attention to his bastard son. Yeah, I've tried, but I always hit a dead end. It's as though she was here one day and suddenly vanished the next. And then her existence was erased from everyone's memory. I wouldn't be at all surprised if my father had her killed to avoid public embarrassment. That's the kind of man he was. Yeah, everyone's sorry. Just as sorry as I am. Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and it's nice to get this off my chest, but talking about it isn't gonna change a thing. That's why I gave you the encryption cipher. Anything I can do to stick it to Ben, that's the real therapy. As usual, you can thank my dear brother for that. At first, he made me deputy administrator. That went well, until I wouldn't cooperate with Owen Dexler and all of his thugs at Neon Security. Then, he had me work with Valentina over at Xenofresh, helping with Aurora distribution, until she pinned a credit skimming scam on me. And now, here I am, chief technician at Generdyne, when I don't even know the first thing about electrical engineering. Feels good to be in control for a change.
you want to see how short my temper is, keep talking.
Ah, there you are. What kept you? I believe we have a lot to discuss. It's obvious you're here to meet someone. Fortunately for them, they rented this VIP room under a false name. I assume that same someone provided you with that clever little virus you installed into Genodyne's systems. All too well. You know, I should give credit where it's due. That virus is quite impressive. It will cost me tens of thousands of credits to remove. That's the last time I'll ever take the Crimson Fleet's capabilities for granted. Because, like the majority of revenue-generating businesses in the city, I have a vested interest in Genodyne's profits. But more importantly than simply losing money, I don't like anything in my city being interfered with without my approval. Probably. But do you want to know why that's not going to happen? It's because I don't negotiate with pirates. They don't understand commitments or contracts. How to get the deal done with finesse. No. For your kind, it's only brute force and violence. Shoot first, take whatever you want, and ask questions later. That's not how I do business. That's what they tell me. Look, I'm not here to debate. I'm here to make an offer. All you have to do is tell me who's profiting from the virus you've uploaded. In return, I'll let you leave the city alive.
You make my skin crawl, Bayou.
You don't have to worry about that in the least. You point me to our little mole, and I'll do the rest. You don't even have to get your hands dirty. My dear friend, you couldn't possibly offer me enough money to offset the embarrassment that this has caused. I'm afraid you'll just have to reveal your source. Really? That's the story you're going with? Very well. There's a body that Neon Security is going to be discovering very soon. One with concrete evidence that links you to the murder. I'd say you have about 1 hour to leave this place before you have a price on your head.
You'd have someone killed to pin the crime on us. Oh, you're a wretched excuse for a human being, Bayou.
So, I assume this concludes our little arrangement, and you'll be leaving our fair city. Oh, when you get back to the key, be certain to give Neva and Delgado my warmest regards.
I'm not gonna say this twice. Get the hell.
my shift goes long again.
I'm not sure if those Varun zealots live in space, or got separated from their home planet, or what. They scavenge what they need. Lots of old facilities left over.
Sleep crates for rent. Scram, I'm on duty.
So come on in. Enjoy some unique company.
Hey there.
Love your fit. It may not work for some, but you wear it like a champ.
Glad you're back. Sorry about the whole Benjamin Bayou thing at the Astral Lounge, but I didn't have much of a choice. Can you believe the nerve of that smug son of a bitch? The man is priceless. Well, I was hoping we'd celebrate your return with some drinks and a pile of Aurora. I was about to start partying early when Boone Morgan tipped me off that Bayou was on his way down with some neon security goons. I'm pretty sure I missed him by less than a minute. Left a ton of good stuff behind, damn it. You're not the least bit concerned that he found the virus and figured out where we were meeting that quickly. Must be nice to be so naive. Yeah, I'm pretty much dead in the water at this point. Since Bayou flagged the virus, I can't risk accessing the system now. All that work I did trying to crack Generdyne is gone. Now I'm in a bit of a bind. The prep work for this job put me in deep for a bunch of cash, and I have no way to pay it all back. Well, a business partner of mine named Nix was the author of the virus. Don't know if you know him or not. Then there's the folks I paid to keep an eye on Ayumi Komiko, a few of the guards at Generdyne. Like I said, it was a huge job. Honestly, I shouldn't be revealing my sources because that puts you on their radar as well. But hey, you asked. That's exactly what I had in mind. I guess you aren't such a rook after all. How much are you willing to part with? Wow, that's way more than I expected. I had no idea you'd be so generous.
I had no idea either, but we do appreciate everything you've done, Estelle.
All right, I guess we're done here. Tell Delgado if he ever needs me for anything else. I've still got his back. And hey, you won't be hearing Rook from me anymore. As far as I'm concerned, you're one of us now. Lifeblood of the fleet. If anyone tries to tell you otherwise, you send them to talk to me. Completely ruined? Nah. I was hoping it would stay on Generdyne's mainframe for the long term, but hey, at least it's already fed me a huge amount of data. Nix really knows what he's doing, though he charged me about 6 months worth of earnings. With any luck, I'll be able to recoup my costs in no time. I hear things are heating up back at the Key, so I might fire up my bird and head over to check things out. Rumor has it that Delgado has some solid info on the Crix's legacy story he's been hawking for the last few years. If there's even a chance that it's true, I want to be there when Shinya Voss starts splitting the loot, if you catch my meaning. Now, how did I know you were going to ask me that? Honestly, doesn't matter if I believe that Crix's legacy exists or not. What's important is that I believe in Delgado. If the man thinks that chasing shadows is gonna make us rich,
then who the hell am I to judge, right? I mean, I'm not gonna jump off a cliff for him or anything, but hey, he needs an extra ship at his side. He's got it. Just watch your ass. Benny isn't exactly gonna be tickled that you've been talking to his brother.
Airlock integrity looks good.
Hello, Captain.
All hell's breaking loose, Rook. Delgado needs you in the repair bay with Jazz as soon as possible. Hooray! You got the conduction gizmo. You did exactly what we asked you to do. Good work, pat on the head. Are you ignoring me or something? I just said there's an emergency. Oh, that's hilarious. You're a real comedian, you know that? Now get your ass to the repair bay. Go!